Ah, yes, portability. Something that is highly recognized in this day and age. I mean, you can basically put emulation on anything your 30S, your phone, Xbox 360, anything basically. But, in the 90s and early 2000s, it wasn't like that. If you wanted portabilities, there had to be sacrifices. Yep, that's right. Sacrifices. Like the Game Gear. On 6 AA batteries, it could only last a couple hours. Yes, the Game Boy could last longer than that on just 2, but keep in mind, that didn't have a lit screen or backlight or color screen or anything like that. It was a cheap ink display. Of course, there was accessories that would drain those 2 AA batteries much faster. But, of course, it added to the portability by adding lighting. Of course, there was a rechargeable battery for the Game Boy and for the Game Gear, but the Game Boy's battery, let's just say, was a lot better. You see, in the past, there was 2 different kind of batteries. There was lithium ion in the Game Boy and regular AA batteries, but then there was this strange thing called nickel cadmium. Nickel cadmium. If you so much as used this kind of battery even once, it would start aging. And then the battery would just fail eventually. Which is why it's so hard to find an intact, even good looking Game Gear battery. This is the Game Gear battery. Does it work? Kind of. Kind of. It's really hard to find the charger for it as well. I've looked on eBay, Amazon, everywhere. I can only find out that it was basically the same thing as a regular Sega Genesis charger. I did manage to charge it with a movie player plug that I have that just so happens to have the right amount. So let's turn it on and use what little charge this thing has, because I literally charged this thing all night. The blinking light means that it's almost dead. Yep, and it turned off. Earlier I did get to the title screen, so that's something. This is one of the many unfortunates of having a rechargeable battery that's nickel cadmium. It ages pretty badly. That's why we don't generally use nickel cadmium batteries anymore, and you'll only find lithium ion batteries in things that do have them. Of course, the phones, little game consoles, things like that. Which raises the question, why did they use this in the first place? I mean, if lithium ion batteries were available, why didn't they just use some of those? Well, you see, lithium ion batteries only fairly recently started to get really small. So the fact that they have a nickel cadmium battery in here that's that big is amazing. If they tried to do that with a lithium ion battery back then, I mean, it kind of wasn't available. Yes, the Game Boy's battery had one, but I mean, that was Nintendo, and this was Sega. And somehow, the Nomad has the same kind of, basically the same kind of battery, a nickel cadmium. Needless to say, nickel cadmium fell out of use by the early 2000s. In devices like the Game Boy Color, and even original Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Advance SP, even the 001 model, all use lithium ion batteries.